We will create the following 3D model using Catia V5. As you can see, all we have right here is rounded shapes, right here, and right here, with some different cross holes along different axes. Alright, so as always, the first two things that we have to take into account here is first the information within the views. So as you can see right here, I have the front view, the top view, and the side view, and the unit system that it's using. That information of the unit system usually comes within a box that is actually usually right here. That depends on the normativity that the author of the engineering job is using, but it usually comes right here, and not only brings the unit system, but also the name of the part, and I don't know, the page number. And one of the important things that it must say is the unit system. So as you can see right here, I do not have any information about that. Right here it is telling me the material, but since it is not within a normativity, well, I don't know if I can take that into account. Then right here I have these two shapes. Remember that these shapes actually are referring to a normativity in which I can assume that these views are presented. But we're going to look at that maybe later. But since I have these two, this is also not going to tell me anything. Right here I have the author of the engineering draw, which is Luis Miguel Huerfano Garzón. And as always, once we have determined our unit system, which in this case is, remember that is millimeters. Why is that? Because I cannot find information about anything within the engineering draw. It's that we are going to start creating our 2D model, taking into account the view that contains the most information possible. So as you can see right here, I have 1, 2, 3 dimensions. Right here I have 1, 2, 3, 4 dimensions, and of course I do not have to count them, but this has the most dimensions on the, well, than the other two. So we're going to start creating our 3D model, taking into account this view. So let me place it right there, and we can start. So we're going to click on start, mechanical design, part design. Now we have access to the part design Catia V5 environment. So I think that this is our tutorial 21. So we're going to name the part tutorial 21. Enter. We're going to start creating our 3D model, but I want that this view to be my side view. Why is that? Because I prefer to see this 3D model like this, not like this. I don't like it. As you can see, that depends on the author, right? So I'm gonna create this view, but within the side plane of Catia V5. So I'm going to start by clicking on sketch. I'm going to select the side view, which is the CX plane. All right, we have access to the sketch design environment, and all we have to do right here is to create a shape that looks like this one. Of course, I'm going to take into account this hole as well. So I don't really care about the dimensions yet. I just care that this looks like the shape that we have right there, right? So by keeping the click or maintaining the click, I can create a rounded shape using this tool, the profile tool. I'm gonna make sure that this is half of a circle. So right here I have this part, then I'm going to create one rounded shape like this one, and like this, like this, like this, once again a rounded shape, this, and finally like this. All right, I'm gonna make sure that I have all the constraints that I need. For example, this should be vertical, so vertical. This should be a horizontal, so line object horizontal, and this as well should be vertical. Then I'm going to create the constraints that I have right here. So for example, well, this is over constrained. Why is that? Because right here I have a radius of 20 millimeters, and right here I have a diameter of 40 millimeters. This and this is telling me the same thing. What this could produce is that the person who is going to replicate this or who is going to manufacture it may be confused along the manufacture or the replication of this part. So this is a mistake. You shouldn't do that. You must not do that, right? So, and it's usually shown within the software. As you can see, if I create this dimension, which is, for example, this one, and I'm going to say the same thing right here, this should show a mistake. As you can see right there, it is showing me in pink or whatever color that is, that I cannot do that, right? Because I'm over constraining the profile. So escape and we can continue. What else? Well, I need this dimension. I need this dimension right here. I need this radius as well, this radius. I need this dimension with respect of this point. I need this dimension, and that would be all. I think, nope. I need this dimension. All right. As you can see, everything is in color green, so everything is correctly defined. As we saw previously, if I create a over constraint, it is going to show me in pink that is a mistake. And if I delete, for example, this dimension, it is going to show me in white that this is not defined, so I can move it. All right. So I'm gonna change every single one of these dimensions using this tool, edit multi-constraint. That is why I didn't care about the dimension until now, right? Because I knew that I could do this faster using this tool. So as you can see, it is showing me in orange the dimension that I'm currently changing. So this is equal, as you can see right here, to 12. Right, so 12, and I can change to the other dimension. It is showing me in cyan the dimensions that I've changed. I repeat, in orange the dimension that I'm currently changing, and in green the dimensions that I've not changed yet. All right, so this is equal to 80. Sorry, 80. This is equal to 20. And let's assume, for example, that I cannot see this dimension. Why is that? Because I may be too far away of the profile. So as you can see, this dimension disappear. This could happen to a profile that is more complex. What I should do then is to use the right click right here and use reframe on. right? It is going to create a closer view of the dimension that I'm currently changing. So this is equal to 8. 8. This is equal as well to 8. 80. 12. And this radius is 20. As you can see, it is asking me for the radius, not the diameter. Preview. Okay. And right here we have our profile. I just forgot to create this hole, so I'm gonna create it right now. This has a diameter of 16. Right here I have diameter, so 16, enter. I'm getting out of this sketch once I have everything defined. And I'm going to extrude it. I'm going to use the path definition tool. And I'm going to look for that value within the other two views. Right here I have it. Once again, this and this is a mistake. Okay, it is telling me the same thing. But what I need is this extrusion. So right here I have 20. So the extrusion is equal to 40. What's left is to create the different shapes for this part, as you can see right here. This part with its respective hole and this part with its respective hole. I cannot forget about this hole. Okay, along this axis. So I'm gonna start creating a sketch with respect of this face. Let me be sure that I'm in the right position. Okay, I can be sure that I am. So I'm gonna use this tool. And first I'm going to create this hole. So what I'm going to do is to call this line, well, it could be this huge line, these two lines and this line within the sketch that I'm currently doing. So I'm going to use this tool, project 3D elements. It is going to call, as I said before, these elements within the sketch that I'm using. But I want it to be for construction purposes. So I'm going to activate this tool right here. Okay. And it is shown right here. I'm going to deactivate this tool. And I'm going to create once again one line for construction purposes, taking into account these 2 points. Okay, I cannot move it. I cannot do anything with that with that line. So that is defined. Then I'm going to create one line taking into account the middle of that line. As you can see, it is shown right here with a fulfilled point. So right here I can be sure that I'm at the exact middle of the line that I've just created till this line. All right, why am I going to do that? Because I want to create a rectangle right here, and I want that rectangle to be created taking into account this line. Why is that? Because I want it to be symmetrical. As you can see, it is symmetrical with respect of this line. So this is equal to 16. Enter. And this dimension I'm going to look for. This is the one that I'm going to look for. So let me see. All right, I can see it. So from the middle of these two circles, because they are created with respect of the same point, which is this one. Till this part I have 20 millimeters, and right here I have a radius of 20 millimeters. That means that from here to here I have as well 20 millimeters. That means that this dimension is equal to 40 millimeters. I repeat, right here I have 20, until here, from here to here I have as well 20. And as you can see right here, this is the dimension that I require. So 40, enter, and I'm going to create as well this shape for me to eliminate it, and this hole. So right here I have this part. I'm going to create a circle that has to be tangent with respect of this point. This should have a dimension of 40. Everything looks good. And I'm going to create the other hole. Okay, as you can see, I've created this circle, but it doesn't have the constraints that I require. As you can see, there has been created a tangency constraint. So I'm going to select it and use the delete button. Then I'm going to select these 2 points with the control key, maintaining the control key. Then I'm going to right here, and I'm going to use coincidence. All right, this has a dimension of 16 millimeters. So 16, enter. Well, there is one thing that I should do right here. Why is that? Because what we have in the profile that we have just created is this circle. Well, actually these 2 circles. But I don't want to create these 2 circles. I want to create this hole. For me to get rid of this part and this hole. Alright, so what I'm going to do is to create a profile with respect of the tangency of this circle, taking into account the points that I've created before. I'm going to use the quick trim tool for me to eliminate this part of the circle and this part of the circle. All right, that's all. So I'm getting out of the sketch, and I'm going to create a hole. So pocket definition tool. Okay, the selected sketch is self-intersecting. This is a mistake. I like that these mistakes are being shown within this video. Why is that? Because this is actually what happened when you want to create something using Catia V5. So we're going to learn how to give a solution to this mistake. Okay, I'm going to cancel this, and I'm going to re-enter this sketch. There is one way in which I can know that this sketch is not well defined, and this is by clicking on tools and clicking on sketch analysis. As you can see, it is showing me that right here I have a closed rectangle, which is this one, a closed circle, and right here I have a profile that is also closed, but it's well, I don't know, this is a mistake, but I already know where is that mistake. It is right here. Why is that? Because it is touching itself. Remember that when we have cross lines within Catia V5, this is going to be a mistake. So I'm gonna change this line to be for construction purposes, and I'm going to create one line, but a little bit away from the circle. Escape. I'm going to delete this part of the line. So for when I look for it, it is not going to show me any warning. Alright, I'm getting out of this sketch, and once again I'm going to try to create a pocket. Alright, so I'm going to change this to up to last. What this does is that from this plane in which we have our sketch, it is going to try to find the last face across the 3D element. In this case, this is the face. And it is going to send in this case, the hole till that face. So, okay. And right here I have this part of our 3D model. Right? What's left is to do the same thing, but with respect of this face. So I'm going to create once again a profile right here. Once again, I'm going to call this line for construction purposes within the sketch that I'm currently doing. Okay. Once again, I'm going to create one circle taking into account the middle of this line. And this point, once again, I want it to be shown, so I'm going to deselect this part, and I'm going to say that this has a dimension of, let me see, 20 of radius. That means that this is equal to 40 for when we speak about diameter, and this circle, which is 16. Once again, I'm going to create this profile, taking into account that I have a little bit away from this line, in order for the mistake that we had before not to be repeat. All right. Okay, this should be horizontal. This as well should be horizontal. This is a mistake, so I can either delete this or the horizontal constraint. Alright, I think that I have everything. I just have to eliminate this part of the circle. I'm going to check that everything is correct. Sketch analysis. Okay, everything is close and correct. Getting out of this sketch, and finally create the pocket till up to last. Alright, and that would be all, guys. This is how you can create this 3D model using Catia V5.